Good evening. It's just gone 6 p.m. and Perth is right now beginning a 5-day COVID lockdown.
A hotel worker tested positive to coronavirus and health officials tell 7 News it's likely to be the more contagious UK strain. You're being forced to stay home because more cases are expected in the coming days.
Yeah, more cases
Households will be in
expected.
lockdown until Friday at 6 p.m. with no visitors allowed. The only
No
reasons you
visitors
can leave are
allowed?
for groceries, medicine, or to see a doctor, exercise, and essential work.
Grabe.
Masks are compulsory for anyone leaving their homes.
Right now, the roads have fallen silent as the first meals in lockdown across the suburbs are served. Queues at testing clinics are long, but they'll be open until 10 p.m. tonight.
We're live across Perth with up-to-the-minute advice on the rules at what was supposed to be the start of the school year.
But let's begin with Jeff Parry.
Hala guys, ayan siya oh. Yung kanina sa grocery.
Rumours sparked panic buying even before
Grabe, it's panic buying really.
live to WA at 12:40 p.m.
Beginning at 6 p.m. tonight, the whole Perth metropolitan area, the Peel region and the southwest region will be going into full lockdown. This lockdown will last until 6 p.m. on Friday.
A single case is a male in his 20s, working as a security guard at the 4 Point Sheraton Hotel in the city. He has flatmates and visited a long line of other locations traced by the Safe WA app. Health officials expect the virus has already spread, triggering a 5-day lockdown.
This virus is insidious, it's highly transmissible. Sometimes we don't even know that any mistakes.
It's
or any
already like that.
protocols
Sienna
in
is
place.
done.
We'll find that out.
The COVID patient was working on the same floor on the other side of the wall from a return traveller infected with the contagious UK strain.
We know he didn't go into a room. We know he didn't expose himself unnecessarily.
When and how he caught it isn't clear.
Yeah.
After working 2 shifts, he fell ill and called in sick. He didn't isolate and wasn't tested until 2 days later. By then, authorities are worried. Hundreds might have already been exposed. The guard was likely infectious when he visited 16 sites.
People who have been to these venues on these dates must attend a COVID clinic and be tested.
Alerts issued for Coles Maylands from 8 to 10 p.m. on January 25. He stayed at home and work, Australia Day. But on January 27 went to KFC in Maylands, a Mitsubishi dealership in Midland. The Spud
Flying to buy a car.
Anyone at Edith Cowan University's Joondalup campus
That's the
on
one you
January
say,
28
ECU
between 11
Joondalup.
a.m. and 2 p.m. is being warned they might be at risk. So too the Indian consulate that afternoon.
Wow, it's an
The
Indian
Halal
guy.
grocery store in Cloverdale that night, and there's a long list the next day. After a haircut in Maylands Friday afternoon and visits to the convention centre and Nedlands GP between 5 and 6 p.m. Then a nearby Chemist Warehouse, a 7-Eleven at Ascot, and Coles in Maylands that was still open
It's a
and
lot.
busy today. As
They
the
can
warning
track that
was issued.
using the app,
Yesterday,
no?
he visited a Puma petrol station in Burswood, a Coles Express in Cloverdale, and a pharmacy in Maylands. Sometime between 2:30 and 4 p.m.
I've been to Coles, I don't think on the day, but yeah.
I thought we'd better come and get tested to be safe. Are you worried at all?
Nah, look, I'm sure we'll be fine. Yeah.
We should have by, hopefully by midweek, a better idea of, what cases are going to come out of this.
We'll post those locations on 7news.com.au.
It appears possible that this new positive case has the highly transmissible UK variant.
Sparking an immediate reaction.
We're trying to crush the virus as quickly as we possibly can.
Masks are mandatory if you leave home, but you'll need a good reason. Groceries, medicine, to see a doctor, or if you're an essential worker. You can exercise in your neighbourhood for an hour with one other person.
For an
but you
hour
still need to wear a
only?
mask. School's return is on hold. Travel is restricted to your region for at least the next 5 days. Holidays are cancelled.
You will need to make your way off.
Oh, it's good that it's holiday na.
So they need a
Mayan
QR
rin.
code when they come to a vehicle checkpoint.
Ay,
That
so
will
that is
need
maybe
to be carefully policed, and it will be carefully policed.
Shops shuttered again. Many small businesses won't be allowed to open tomorrow after 10 months of near normality.
Something did go wrong. and we need to get to the bottom of that. Obviously, at this point in time, we're investigating the current active cases in the hotel.
That's what's happened everywhere else, and now, unfortunately and predictably, that's what's happened here. It's incredibly disappointing that we are still running what we would describe as an amateurish quarantine system.
It's believed the security guard was infectious for up to 6 days before he isolated. Daily testing of hotel quarantine staff didn't start till last Friday, after the guard was infected. The sick person also doubled as a ride-share driver but hadn't worked on the road recently.
You rely a lot on trust because if people do an odd shift here or there, elsewhere, it is hard to police that.
Hours before WA was due to drop our hard border with Queensland and Victoria, the Premier's now urged other states to ban travel here, putting the shoe on the other foot and putting the onus on the public.
I'd urge everyone, if you're unwell, get tested. If you feel sick, get tested. If you've been to any of those venues, get tested. This is the time to get tested.
Jeff Barry is at a testing centre tonight. Jeff, how busy are they?
Well, Tim, I'm at the Royal Perth Hospital testing clinic in Murray Street, and it's very busy. You see those people behind me just on the footpath. They've been there, some of them, for 3 hours. That's how long it's taken them to get there, and this is the finish line. This is where you're within sight of getting tested, and even going through this process can take an hour. Everyone, without exception,
They said they
is
scheduled
wearing a mask here, but the line is huge, and it stretches way back Murray Street, around past the main entrance of Royal Perth Hospital, way back to where the ambulances bring patients into Royal Perth Hospital. Now, not all of them are going to get tested today or tonight. This closes at 10 o'clock, and I know Health and Police are somewhere up that line telling people, look, you're not going to make it through by 10 o'clock. There are other places you can go. It reopens at 8 o'clock in the morning, but there are also private clinics available tomorrow. The people that they really want tested here today are those who have been directed by the Health Department and those people who have come from those hotspot areas. So some of these people, as I said, won't make it, but there are many places for them to go, and they can find that out on the website, on the Health Department's website, where those public and private testing places are. The line is very, very peaceful, very, very calm. Some of the staff here have been taking around fruit and bottles of water today. The police have boxes of masks, but they don't really need to give them out. So this will go on until 10 o'clock tonight, but it will reopen up here tomorrow at 8 a.m. Back to you, Ange.
Jeff, thank you. Restaurants, gyms and cinemas will close to help stop any COVID spread. As the Premier detailed the lockdown, queues across the suburbs grew as people raced to the shops for supplies. Supermarkets will remain open over the next 5 days, but toilet paper once again disappeared fast. As cars parked dangerously and people panicked about what's ahead.
Our 10-month transmission-free stretch ends, and a new stretch begins.
An hour and a half now. We finally made it to Cape Town.
Lines reaching around the block at supermarkets across the city as panic buying plunged shopping centres into pandemonium.
And our pre-bed line, 41 minutes now.
41 minutes.
Yeah, Amazon got a lot there, so I wasn't even around the corner.
Online milk, eggs, toilet rolls, whatever.
Some
You want
queues
that?
even visible from the sky. Despite explicit orders not to,
Careful.
hoarding essentials began. Toilet paper, bread and milk flying off shelves and out the door. People with full trolleys were met by police patrolling parking lots. Just not the makeshift ones made by drivers on people's lawns. Petrol stations were just as packed, even though there won't be anywhere to go. But holiday makers racing home from the southwest caused more chaos. Bumper to bumper from Busselton to Bunbury, sparked by a traffic crash in the northbound lane. The mayhem spread even further than the lockdown has.
If that's what needs to happen, that's what needs to happen.
I just didn't think it would happen yet. I thought we were in the clear.
Residents in
Careful.
Kalgoorlie were preparing for the worst across the state. Rumours that spread fast triggered panic.
The shopping chaos started before the Premier even made his midday announcement. People were eager enough to go out and grab their goods early. But as you can see by some of these lines, people weren't as quick to start social distancing.
Perth will need to be better at staying apart now the lockdown has begun. Here is more
There's a
detail
bird.
on what you can and can't do. No leaving home unless it's for work, shopping for essentials, medical appointments, or an hour's exercise. The 2 square metre rule returns. No visitors will be allowed to homes unless it's to care for vulnerable people
Grabe
or
naman.
emergencies.
No
Aged care and
visitor.
hospital visitations are off limits as well. Non-essential Category 2 and 3 surgery is cancelled, and so are weddings, while funerals will be capped to a limit of 10 people. Also on the list of closures, gyms, pools, libraries, casinos, schools,
Libraries
sporting events
closed.
and religious gatherings. Restaurants and cafes will be restricted to takeaway, while pubs, clubs and bars will close, leaving punters to enjoy last drinks at pubs at Sunday sessions around Perth.
Does it taste extra sweet knowing you won't be able to have another one for 5 days in the pub?
Enjoy. Every beer's precious, so enjoy while it's here.
Restaurants packed too for a lockdown last supper. Ben Downey, 7 News.
Ben Downey joins us live from City Beach now. Ben, has everyone headed home?
Certainly not every